right, welcome to One Nation of Sports Locker Magazine Extra. I am so excited tonight. You know why? Because it's Valentine's Day, and instead of spending the time that I should be with my wife and the time that Jay should be with his wife, we're spending it with you. So happy Valentine's Day. All right, I'm going to bring him on and see if we're in trouble. Jay, are we in trouble for doing this tonight?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay,
Our
okay.
wives are amazing. They
Yes, they
uh they
are.
absolutely love us and support us. So anyway, I thought I could spend Valentine's Day with my dad. There's nothing wrong with
Well,
that.
hey,
Come on
yeah,
now.
no, no, but yeah. Hey,
Uh
welcome back. Welcome back. You
Thank
missed
you.
last week. You weren't feeling too well. We had a great program with David Bethune from Jefferson City. He was on. He
Yep.
brought the heat and brought the speed, and now you're here tonight. You're bringing the speed and bringing the heat too.
Boy, I'll bring the heat. I don't know about the speed. I'm about as quick as a sloth. Now, I'll tell you what, that David Bethune, he's fast.
Yeah,
He's fast.
yeah.
Uh
It was
I
ridiculous seeing the video.
I I love watching the highlights of him, and I really had a good time on his photo shoot for the cover of the magazine. We had a really good time with David, and he loved showing off for me and Katie, and doing some football moves and doing his Heisman pose and all that. He was just a character, but I really like that kid. I'm pretty bummed I missed out on him last week. Did you guys
Yeah,
have a good time though?
we did. We had a good time, and I'm
Good.
ready to have a good time tonight. We've got a few people have already joined us, and feel free to chime in because we're going to be asking some different questions about your favorite Super Bowl moments, your favorite commercials, whatever it is. We've got, I mean, whatever you want to talk about, we're going to talk about too. But Jay, I know you've got
Amen.
an agenda. Start it off, man.
Oh man, well if we're gonna start off talking about Super Bowl, that was a fun game. Like that, I don't know if I've ever been a part of playoffs and Super Bowl where every single game came down to like last minute who's gonna win this game. But every single game, it was their one blowout. Not that I watched.
Not that I
Every
knew of.
week it was every week I was watching these close sports games, these close football games, and especially I'm a huge Chiefs fan, so I was pretty, mad about the Bengals. But I,
I wasn't going to bring it up because you were getting angry before we started this program. I thought, I'm not going to tap into that lion.
well, and you said keep it appropriate, kids.
Okay,
Keep it appropriate.
keep it
Keep it
appropriate.
appropriate. Anyways, I just I had to send my cardiologist bill over to Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Like he's got to get it figured out for me because my heart was having some palpitations. But I mean, Dad, these games have been insane, and I knew the Super Bowl was not going to disappoint, and it did not. It was action packed. If you like watching tough defense, there was tough defense. There was strong offense. I mean,
Hmm.
they opened up that second half with a 75-yard bomb touchdown. I was like, oh, there's Burrow. He's turning it on. You better watch out. I mean, it was just a fun Super Bowl.
It was,
Um,
what would have made it funner, more fun, let's be proper English, more fun would have
I'm a
been
heck
if there would have been the Kansas City Chiefs in there and then
absolutely.
them winning. I don't think I would have enjoyed them getting there and getting blown out. I wouldn't have enjoyed that.
I wouldn't have necessarily, I don't care. I would have enjoyed them being there. Even if they lose, I don't care. They were there. You can get mad all you want. People can pick on me. Oh, your Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. Yeah, we were in
Yeah,
it.
they made the Super
So,
Bowl. That's right, but
yeah,
not
that
this year.
we
Maybe
were
next
in
year.
it, but not this year
Right.
because, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals, I just feel like their team just like lucked out all the time. They just kept lucking out. And oh,
Well,
I was not cheering for the Bengals. I don't think they have quite earned it yet. Where the Rams, I feel like Sean McVay has been building a team there for years now. He went to the Super Bowl, what was that, 4 or 5 years ago now,
uh huh.
against the Patriots and lost. He has still been trying to build that winning culture They really thought Jared Goff was the answer. As soon as they moved on from him, I was like, thank you. And they brought in Matt Stafford. And people have been talking about Matt Stafford for years. I mean, how many years was he with the Detroit Lions, Dad?
Wasn't it like 11 or 12?
12 years
Yeah.
with the Detroit Lions. And you just saw this guy who played with broken ribs, a broken finger. He just gutted it out week after week, trying his hardest and couldn't get it done. I can think of several Lions players who did the same and couldn't get it done with that organization.
I was just thinking real quick, just a couple of guys that I remember. Billy Sims out of Oklahoma was a phenomenal running back. And then, of course, after him became Barry Sanders out of Oklahoma
Yep.
State. A phenomenal. If you've never seen
Oh,
Billy Sims or Barry
phenomenal.
Sanders, look at the videos. Ridiculous on how, especially Barry Sanders. I mean, that guy stopped on a dime, and he was like a video game, just zip, 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 everywhere. I mean,
Barry Sanders.
he made people
There's
look
a
bad.
the guy retired when he was still at the height of his career, and it was because of the how disgruntled he was with the Lions
Yeah.
and how they could not put together a winning formula. You saw Megatron, Calvin
Megatron.
Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
Megatron, and it's just I don't know what it is about the Lions, but they have got to start taking notes, looking how other teams do it, and figure it out because they
Here's the deal.
have dynamic players, but they do not have the leadership in that team.
Here's the deal. You know what it reminds me of? The Kansas City Chiefs pre Patrick Mahomes. My
I hear you.
Lanta.
I hear you on that.
Elvis Gerbeck, come on. I wanted
love,
that Elvis to leave the building every single week. Get him out of there. And then Steve Bono.
I
Don't get me
love
started.
telling people that I was a Chiefs fan during Elvis Gerback, and so they should lay off.
Oh,
Like, it's lay off. It's
yeah.
okay. We have a winning team now. It's okay. Back off.
Yeah.
But anyways, Matt Stafford, when he came to the Rams, there was so much hype. There was so much excitement. And we saw a lot of it during the regular season. We also saw midway through the regular season some old Matt Stafford habits. The the um, the bad decision making skills of Matt Stafford. Why are you throwing it right there, Matt?
Right.
What are you thinking? What are you seeing? What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, that guy just guts it out week after week. I was cheering for the Rams, not only for Matt Stafford, I was also cheering for Aaron Donald, who has been the number one defensive player. What are we on? Six,
Oh,
7 years in a row?
yeah,
Like, this
he's
guy is
crazy good.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Aaron Donald. What an amazing talent. They brought in Von Miller. I'm a huge Von Miller fan. I respect him so much. Especially with being a Chiefs fan, we had to play Von Miller
Yeah.
for years, twice a year. I respect that guy so much.
And we were
It's
glad
really
he
funny.
left. We were glad he left Denver.
Amen. It's funny though, and even leading up to this weekend, Von Miller, I just respect that guy a whole lot. And he said that going into this weekend, he's talking about being a part of the Rams, being on this team, and he said at the end of the day, I still bleed blue and orange. And so huge respect to the Denver Broncos, and he knows that that's where I can see it where he's going to sign and retire with the Denver Broncos eventually. That is his team. He said, I still bleed blue and orange. But it was a great move from the Broncos to get him traded. It was time because the Broncos aren't doing anything. And I'm really glad they did that because now look at the respect they gave their player, Von Miller. He went to a team and he could actually win a Super Bowl. So I think that was just a great move. It was great for the Broncos. It was great for Von Miller. So I always been a big fan of him. Huge respect. And then Cooper Cup.
Oh wow! I mean,
Cooper Cup.
double teamed the whole game, and then at the end it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
Well,
We're going to Cooper
oh,
Cup, and he's going to
Odell
get the
Beckham.
ball.
Odell Beckham tore his ACL, and I feel bad for Odell. He has had it rough with injuries, but that guy can play. And
But
so I was
he's got the ring now.
The guy can play,
Mhm.
and he can play really well. I remember when he came out that first season with the Giants, and he made some of those incredible catches. I mean, the guy can play. I also understand he brings a little bit of some drama with him, and he brings that to the organization. And there's some other side effects that you might not agree with Odell, but the guy can play, and he was not doing well with Baker Mayfield and the Browns.
Right.
They couldn't figure it out. In the short time he was with the Rams, they figured something out.
Hmm.
So what a dynamic to have on the field, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they don't have their starting tight end anymore either.
Right. You had to
Okay,
make an adjustment.
all the all their weapons are falling down. There's Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup, the knight in shining armor, and that guy refuses to quit. And you talk about a lot of people, I don't know if they heard about this, if they haven't heard about it, but the relationship between Matt Stafford and Cooper Cup, they were getting to the practice, to the field, the arena daily, 6 a.m. We're going to practice. We're going to watch footage. They're there 2 hours before other players start showing
Yeah.
up. And the work ethic that they put into it, that's the type of players they are, and you can see why their chemistry was so strong in such a short amount of time. I don't want to, you know, Ben Roethlisberger, he's got that put some ice on it method, but TB12. Now, Tom Brady, he's always preached about doing that with his wide receivers, and I love. I'm not saying Matt Stafford's copying Tom Brady, but he ain't a bad guy to copy. I'll tell you that. So having Matt Stafford and Cooper Cup have that dedication and willingness to show up 2 hours before anyone else, I mean, it's just awesome. And so you could tell I was cheering for the Rams the whole time. That's who I wanted. So it was such an epic comeback for me because I thought after the second half started and the Bengals started with that 75-yard bomb to T. Higgins, I thought that's game. This is game.
Yeah. Yeah. That was controversial right there as far as the no call. I mean,
Yep, yep,
that kind of stuff's going to happen. I
it is.
mean, and especially when it's your team that it happens against, you get a
Yep.
little more uptight. Uh, but of course, the other, if it was on the positive side for your team, you're like, oh no, that wasn't anything.
Yeah,
No.
that I don't. What are you talking about?
I
That's what
love
I
I
grew up.
love that about sports. If it's for your team, that was the best ever. If it's against your team, that's the worst thing ever. They should be
Yeah,
fired.
I was actually really enjoying that there was just no
Yeah.
calls the entire game. They were just letting two teams duke it out until the very end when they were like, the Rams get another chance. And I was like, I don't think that was, I don't think that was anything. But you know what? I was
Yeah.
cheering for the Rams, so I said, I'll take it.
I think a
I'll
lot
take
of
it.
I think a lot of people would agree with one thing that they enjoyed maybe probably watching the Rams win, just for the time that they were here, but they did not want to root for the owner. We know that. I mean, I heard so many people saying there's no way I would cheer for them ever because he moved them away from St. Louis, and there's just a lot of anger about that. So, and they're still holding on to it. I just
And they're
think.
never going to let it go. So you know Mike Hostetler. Mike is a huge Rams fan, huge. He cannot stand Stan Kroenke, can't stand the man, but he still cheers for the Rams.
Yeah, I
And
mean, and that's the thing is that the players you got
that's the
to,
thing.
good players, you got to root for those
Yep,
guys. You had to choose
yep.
between one or the other. Our Chiefs got beat, so we went with the team that we're going to beat the teams that beat the Chiefs. So that's what we were
That's
for.
exactly right. That's exactly right. I wasn't cheering for the Bengals. They were like, "So you're going to cheer?" I had a lot of people even at work. So you're cheering for the Bengals, right? You're going to cheer for the Bengals? No,
No.
no, that's not how that works. That is
Hey,
not how that works.
real quick before we move on from this, you give your opinion of what your favorite commercial was. I know a lot of people do that.
I didn't get to watch a lot of the commercials, to be honest with you.
I
I
didn't really.
did
I
get to
didn't either.
watch. I did see one, and it was about. It was the Scarlett Johansson. with
Yeah.
her husband,
Yeah.
Colin Yost,
Yeah.
and they were joking about if Alexa could read your mind, and I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
And they were
That was
like,
one I
"Yeah."
saw.
So I did enjoy that one. I thought it was pretty good. But I mean, it was like every car commercial was about electric car
Yeah.
uh coin,
What was up about the goats?
cryptocurrency. I was like, I don't know what this is.
What was the one about the goats? I was like, okay, there's so
Yeah.
many goats. How do you handle all that? I don't know.
Now there were some good trailers though. I mean, you got
Yeah.
a new trailer for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness. That looked awesome. That was, I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but that was Sir Patrick Stewart. At one point, you saw the back of his head, and he asked Doctor Strange a question. So it's, I don't know, but I'm telling you, that was the voice of Sir Patrick Stewart. Are they bringing the X-Men into the MCU? I mean, Disney owns them all now, and
Could
if
be.
this is a different multiverse, I'm excited. That was a good trailer. The Nope trailer was pretty epic. That new scary movie from Jordan Peele. There were some good trailers, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't get to watch a lot of the commercials.
A lot of people talked about they thought it was one of the best halftime shows they had. But I think for me, I don't know you would probably agree that you have a guy that you would prefer to see during halftime. NF, you might, look him up. He's amazing. You would like to
That
see
would have
that
been
during
cool.
halftime.
That would have been cool. Now,
Yeah,
I thought about how cool it would be if they could pull in some of the Christian OGs. Like it'd be cool to see all of a sudden Toby Mac,
yeah.
NF, um, KJ 52. I'm like, oh, there you
KJ
go.
52 singing his song "Your Breath Stank."
Your breath stank.
We can get Carlton Flowers to jump in on that one.
Uh,
Too funny. Hey, let's go ahead and take a break, and then we'll come back and let you get to town on some hot takes because we've had some good
awesome.
stuff happen around here. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me.
All right, here we go.
Not everybody is an 8 to 5 Monday through Friday type. At CNS, we have employment options for the way you want to work with our flexible scheduling program. Flexible scheduling is designed to fit your lifestyle and allows you to be in control of your schedule. CNS offers insurance plans upon employment. Celebrating 45 years of staffing, CNS Business Services.
Say yes to CNS.
CNS Business Services, again, they do such an outstanding job. You guys hear it every week. Why? Because they do an outstanding job, and you need to hear that. I gave them a call just this last week recommending somebody that was needing a job, and they said absolutely send them on in, and they were going to get them taken care of. So CNS Business Services, Paula and her team, they do an outstanding job. And speaking of that, Redemption Inside the Walls on September the 17th. I'm going ahead and throwing that out there right now. We do have our main act, and they're going to be amazing. I will save that for another time. But Jay, I'm going to let you jump into the hot takes here real quick. At the very end, I've got a little something special that I want to talk about, and then we'll close out the program on this Valentine's Day. So you can go see your wife, I can go see my wife, and then they'll be happy. All right, go ahead.
No, that sounds awesome. So this past weekend was wrestling districts, and so there was a ton of amazing wrestlers. I want to say players, but I don't really think you call wrestlers players. But anyways, I mean, you had some amazing matches that happened over this past weekend right there in mid Missouri, and some of these schools just went all out and had some great representations from their wrestlers. So I just want to shout out several of the schools and several of the players who won districts themselves. So the Jays, they actually had four people win individual titles, and they claimed team honors. They actually won their Class 3 district for the team won districts, their first place. Um, they did that with 207 points in a 15 team field.
Wow.
Kearney came in second with 163 and a half, and Platte County was third with 162. So, I mean, the next closest person is over 40 points behind JC. JC showed out.
Your alma
Um,
mater. Your alma mater.
Alma mater, man. I'm telling you, the Jays have always been good at wrestling. I'll tell you that right now.
Coach
They
Cagle and
still
his
have
team have done
they
an
have Coach
outstanding
Phil
job.
Cagle,
Yeah.
and they're outstanding, amazing. I had Phil Cagle as a teacher, and he was an awesome teacher. He does bring a lot of passion. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
So Brad Wardenhausen, shout out to him at the 132-pound division. He went 3-0 in the tournament, and he won by pinfall. Cameron McKee at the 138 weight, he was 4-0 in district. He won the title by a medical forfeit against his opponent Eli Roca of Platte County. Will Berenson at 182. Will defeated Jaqueli Gist of Kearney 8-1 in the title match. So shout out to Will.
Real quick. I mean, that's outstanding. I mean, Will had an injury this year in football, and to be able to come back from that and to jump right into wrestling, and congratulations, Will. Outstanding job, and also, I think he signed to play football too. So, well done. Congratulations. It's been a good couple weeks for him.
It's been an awesome couple weeks. Keep
Yeah,
going, Will.
and
Don't stop now.
I know his mom and dad are happy. Everything's going a little bit better now too. That's hard when you got an injured kid. They're wanting to get out there and get in there faster. So, well done, good job. All right, sorry I interrupted you. I just had to throw that in.
Dude, you always bring the extra pepper, so come on, bring it. So then you got Isaac Enlow wrestling at the 285 division. 285. That kid would crush me. Oh my goodness. He defeated Derek Joyner of Grandview 2-0 to win the title. So Enlow went 4-0 in districts, went 4-0. So the four led a total of 11 qualifiers that are going to state. That is the second most in program history. That trails only the 12 that was sent in 1997, and that's when Jeff City went and they actually won the state title. So yeah, Jays are sending 11 total wrestlers to state.
Wow.
Shout out to the Jays.
Yeah.
Good job.
Awesome.
That's awesome. You know who else is sending 11 to the state?
Who else is sending 11 to state, Jay?
The Helias Crusaders.
I kind of thought you might say that.
Helias, they finished with 3 individual champions that won districts, and they captured team honors. They had a total of 242.5 points, and they won the team title. They beat Seneca, who was at 174, and Blair Oaks, who finished with 140. So Blair Oaks was third. The kids just did a great job of competing this weekend, is what Helias head coach Weston Keeler said. Shout out, we've had in the magazine Jack Jack Loggy.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He wrestled at the 126 pounds. He dominated with a 16-4 win against Aiden Bollinger of Blair Oaks for the title. Jack was just an awesome kid. He was an awesome when we did our interview with him. And he said that his goal was to go to districts, win it, and then go to state. So he's moving on with his goals
That's right
now. He's checking the boxes. So he's been working extremely hard to get this done. So I'm pretty proud of Jack.
Yeah, great job, Jack.
You also had Jace Dumel at the 145 pound, and he posted a 4-1 win against Kit Farron of Logan Rogersville in the title match, and Jace won his title match. Then you got Logan Montoya at 160, and he also won by fall against Jake Anthony of Cassville in his title match. So all 3 of them won districts, and 11 of them are going to state for Helias.
That's awesome. And I don't know about you. I kind of relate a little bit more to that last young man. You said his weight was 160. I mean, it's getting closer to my weight. I still got to keep going up there, but relating a little bit more. I was thinking back when you were talking about Jack on 126. I'm like, oh my
126?
goodness.
I know. I hear 126, and I'm like, I remember the first grade. Like, that was a long time ago for me, man.
Wow. Yep.
Uh, no, but those guys, they work hard to maintain their
Absolutely.
weight and get as lean as possible and to go tear people up. It's fun. Like
Yes.
it's wrestling is super fun. I thought this was cool. Blair Oaks, we just talked about Blair Oaks. They finished third in that tournament. They're sending 7 to the Class 2 state wrestling tournament. So they had 7 kids qualify. So even though they finished third, that's all right. They did have one person, Easton D'Amelia, won his second straight district title. He finished with a 3-0
Congratulations, Easton.
record, and he finished with a 3-0 record at the, you want to hear a small weight, at the 113-pound division.
Okay. All right. There you go.
Yeah, I remember when I was 4, 4 years old.
And that's not a slam on them at all. I mean, again,
No, not at
no
all.
one is. It's more of a slam on us.
It is. I related to the one kid who weighed in at 285. I represented him, but he would kill me because I am not a strong 185. Anyways, Capital City, I thought this was awesome. They are sending a program record 6 wrestlers to the Class 3 state tournament. They had 6 of them finish in the top 4. None of them won districts, but they finished top 4. One of them came close in second place, and so they will be sending 6 wrestlers for the state. So shout out to Capital City.
Awesome job. Great job with wrestlers.
Yep.
What else?
So
What else you got on wrestling? Anything else, or is that all of them?
for wrestlers,
Yeah,
that's really
a couple
all
guys
I
from
had.
Eldon, right?
Oh, that's right. Eldon is advancing 2 to state. That was Jasper DeGraffenried and Josiah Simmons.
Okay.
Yep.
We just had
Yep.
Jasper
So
was in the magazine here, not this last issue. So
yep.
congratulations to those guys as well.
Yep.
Outstanding
And then
wrestlers. Outstanding wrestlers in Mid Missouri.
California, they're going to advance 2, and Tipton will also advance 2
Very
past
good.
districts. So yeah, what a great weekend for wrestling in mid Missouri, and our schools showed up and they showed out. So just
Hmm.
exciting stuff.
And be looking for that in the next issue of Sports Locker magazine, our March-April issue. That will be we'll be recognizing some of the top wrestlers throughout Mid Missouri. So be looking for that. We're excited to bring that to you. What about some basketball? There's been some hoops going on. Tell us about
There
that.
has there has been some hoops games, Dad. They have been playing ball. Now, I just want to shout out a few of the teams here. I don't want to talk about all of them, but I do want to talk about a few of them that had some big wins. So, boys basketball, California versus Eldon. I get torn when I got these 2 close teams like this playing. It's like, who are you going to cheer for? I'm going to tell you what, if you cheered for both, you were not disappointed.
Right.
This was an epic game between 2 just standout players. So you have California's Kalen Kruger and you have Eldon's Gardner Casey. Kruger scored his 1,000th career point. Shout out to Kalen Kruger. And Casey tied the school single game record with 11 made 3-pointers.
Wow.
Come on. Call that splash.
That's like a
11
Splash Brother
3-pointers.
from the Golden State Warriors right there.
That's right. That's right. In the end, California held on and they won 75-70 for the Tri-County Conference win. So just an outstanding game by 2 of the star players. And so I love that Kalen Kruger got his 1,000th career point. Good for him.
Hmm.
Someone else got their 1,000th
Somebody
career
else.
point this weekend,
Yeah.
and that would be Eugene's Caleb Walker. Caleb Walker,
Caleb
1,000
Walker.
career point on
Congratulations.
Friday night. And he led the Eugene Eagles to an 84-24 win over the Tuscumbia Lions.
Wow. Man.
Sorry, Tuscumbia.
We
Go on
happen to
back.
be Angela. Mom and I, by the way, she said to tell you Happy Valentine's Day earlier, but I'm telling you now, so I didn't miss it. Okay, got it. But we were at I think we were at McAllister's a couple of weeks ago on Sunday after church, and I happened to be coming back from the line, and I looked up, and I'm not kidding. I looked up, and there was Caleb right there. He was with his dad, and I had forgotten how tall he was. I was like, man, That is one tall young man.
Yes,
and
it is.
very talented. So congratulations,
Very.
Caleb.
Yep, that's very cool. Also, boys basketball. Three more scores I want to share. Helias survived a late game attempt comeback against the Class 3 number 6 St. Michael the Archangel Guardians, and Helias won 72-68. So
Wow.
Helias is still banging the drums, still surviving, and they held up against a pretty formidable foe.
Hmm.
So I was happy about that. And then Calvary Lutheran, shout out to them. Calvary Lutheran Lions celebrated their homecoming with a CCAA title winning 58-42 victory against the Jamestown Eagles.
Way to go, Lions. Great
Go
job.
Lions. Here's the big game of the week.
All right. Drum roll.
All right.
Made my
Thank you.
face rattle. Sorry. And it wasn't very good rhythm either.
Blair Oaks versus Jefferson City. It's hard to talk about basketball in this area without bringing up Blair Oaks. The Blair Oaks have avenged every single regular loss from last year. First, it was Monroe City. Then it was Helias. Let me get in there. Then it was Nixa. And then now, most recently, the Jefferson City Jays. The Blair Oaks could check them off the list. And the defense held Jeff City to 31% shooting Friday. They led wire to wire for a commanding 75-44 victory.
Wow.
The win was the 20th in a row, and that streak does not concern Blair Oaks coach Ryan Fick. He says, I know I sound like a broken record and that I'm being very cliche, but we honestly just try to go one game at a time. When the season's over, you get together, and at the season ending banquet, that's the time to talk about this kind of stuff. Right now, I'm just worried about the next one.
Yep.
I love that quote. That's why I put it in there. But Blair Oaks are now the Blair Oaks. Yeah, they're on an absolute tear right now. They are putting up amazing numbers. I saw the other night Northweather set the single game scoring record. That was not against the Jays. I think it was the game before, but he scored
Yeah.
some high amount of points. So I
And
mean,
that's a pretty big deal too, because his brother was there and was a high scorer as well. So I mean, it's
yeah,
that's a pretty big deal.
yeah. But I mean, that kid's 6'10".
Yeah.
6'10". They talked about in this game that in the first quarter, the whole goal was they just kept feeding him the ball. He ended up scoring like 9 straight points that took the Blair Oaks up. They were 12-4 at the time
Hmm.
after he did that. Like it's real fun to kind of read about how the game went and the coaching
Hmm.
breakdowns, and so if you really want to dive in and find some stuff, the News Tribune does an amazing job of breaking down all of these games, all of these tournaments, and giving you some really good detail of what happened. So always give a shout out to the News Tribune. Thank you guys for giving us some awesome facts, and we just want to talk about them on our show. So thank you.
Very good. Hey, I wanted to finish off the program with something that's a little bit near and dear to both of our hearts, actually. Tomorrow marks the 10-year anniversary of my brother's death. And, you know, he was a big factor in me having a love for sports. We got to go out every single, and you with your brothers. I mean, you were able to do lots of stuff with them, and but my brother Kerry, he was somebody that was very instrumental in my love for sports. We'd go out and we'd play baseball all day long. I mean, how do you play baseball? Two guys. Well, you're trying to strike out the other one, and you're trying to smash the other one's face with ball back up the middle, or trying to hit it up over on the school building. We did that, or we'd go over to the basketball court and we'd play. We'd have our own NBA series. We'd best out of 7 to 100 each game. I mean, we'd be out there, and playing full court, Jay. I mean, that's what we would do,
Yeah.
and we just kept going on and on. And then if that wasn't enough, then we'd go on down the street and we'd play basketball over at this lighted court A guy had two different. He owned two houses side by side, had two garages behind there with lights on them and basketball goals, and so we'd be down there playing late into the evening. We'd be out there playing football. My brother. I will have to say this about him. You know, we both battled, and then once he went from his junior year from being shorter than I was 5'10" and a half at that time. I'm 5'10" now, and it's because the half was the hair, going up there. But the one thing is, all of a sudden he shot to 6'3". I'm like, what happened? Why didn't I get that height? I could have used that height. So anyway, I'm just this time of the year, Valentine's Day. It's always, yeah, and I'm going to say difficult, but when you lose somebody, you just miss them. And I think of my mom and my two sisters and the rest of our family, and my brother's son Alex and his wife Dana. I just think about those guys during this time. So it'll have been 10 years. Can you believe that, Jay?
No, I really can. It does not feel like 10 years.
Yeah. What was one of your fondest memories about Kerry?
It's funny you bring up sports, but playing basketball. I mean, we would we would get together. I remember playing at Memorial Park there in Jeff City,
Yep.
and Mo was there, Chris was there, um, Kerry, and I remember playing basketball with Alex, and I
Mm.
mean, it was just fun.
Yeah.
Um, and it was funny. I feel like I was only dating Katie at that point too. Um,
Well, that's
I
10
don't
years ago.
think
You've been married longer than 10 years.
well, yeah, no, but this story that I'm
Oh, the story.
remembering,
Okay. Okay.
we were only dating at the time,
Okay.
and I remember he was like, he was like, so it was just me and him hanging out at the basketball. We were under the basketball hoops, and he was like, so you like Katie, huh? And I was like, yeah, I do. And he's like, she's pretty good niece. And I'm like,
he
that
was
yeah,
he was
yeah,
about
she's
ready, letting you know he's gonna bring the hammer down, wasn't he?
and he was like, I'm like, yeah, she's pretty cool. And he's like, I love her, right? And I was like, I do know that. Okay, just making sure you know. Uh,
Yeah.
all right, check.
Yeah.
Throw the ball at me. All right, check.
Well,
But
he was.
it was just so funny, and I've always remembered that, and it was just a little moment we had, but I also feel like I was getting his approval too.
Yeah.
And yeah, when he passed away, I mean that it was just so numbing. It was
Yeah.
just kind of rocked the world. It just happened so
Yeah.
quickly,
Yep.
and it was
Absolutely.
like, what's going on? And
Yep.
so you surprised me with this one. I didn't know we were doing this
I
tonight,
know,
but
and that's why I put it
I'm
toward
not
the.
mad.
I put it towards
Yeah,
the end. I put it towards the end just in case we needed to break out the tissue. But
yeah,
yeah, but it's again, I just wanted to give a shout out to my brother who was again instrumental in just
yeah,
helping me just have a love and a passion for sports. I mean, it was
yeah,
a lot due to just my time spent with him, and he was my best friend growing up. A lot of times I didn't let him know that, did not let him know that, but I did later on in
yeah.
life, and so. Anyway, just wanted to do a shout out to him today. Before we close the program,
I
to
love that.
one more thing I want to do here real quick is, we show that we've got like our Facebook page, like our YouTube channel, and on our YouTube channel you go to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. Hop on there. There is like over 60 videos that we have on there from when we just first started doing this thing. And one that I want you to check out for sure is just one that we just did not too long ago, a few weeks ago, as a matter of fact. It was with the Lubert sisters, Sarah and Izzy. That video has blown up. We have now reached over 11,000 views for that particular video, and that's pretty awesome. So check out that one. Check out the others. Again, you can go to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra. There was a pretty good wrestling one we did a couple of weeks ago with Jay and Michael and Ryan Olson, and that was a good program. We hope you've enjoyed tonight, and I'll let Jay close out, and then I'll finish with our closing slide. And go ahead, Jay.
Awesome. Like Kirk said, we obviously want you guys to like our page, comment, share. let people know that we're here. We love bringing you guys awesome content every week, and we love that you guys have joined us for Valentine's Day, 2022. And so, anyways, we absolutely love you guys. We appreciate you. Have an awesome week, and we'll see you next Monday.
God bless you guys. See you next week.